What's up, creepers and geekers? Chris, the Atari Creep. How is everyone doing today? Welcome back to Toys I Wish I Still Had. I got kind of a twofer for you. I'm cheating a little bit, but I felt these two items were related enough to where it warranted to put them in the same video. Plus, to do two of them would be kind of a repetitive deal. I don't know. I'm still feeling out this little segment here, but I do plan on doing a whole bunch. Now, the point of this is not to show off common stuff that probably you and I both had. I'm trying to find just random things from my childhood that maybe not as many people had. Maybe you didn't know it existed. I don't know. Hopefully, you get something out of this. And that's really all there is to it. So, mm, at the end, I do have a small disclaimer, but I don't want to do it here in the beginning. I want to get right to it. So please hang out. If anything, just fast forward to that, okay? But hang out and indulge me if you will. So we're going to be doing a couple of generally toys. One's a bank, one's an actual toy. Now, Ertl back in the day put out a whole bunch of General Lee and Dukes of Hazzard merchandise. They're known for making die-cast vehicles, and of course, we all had the little Matchbox / Hot Wheels scale. What are those? 1/64th scale or whatever it is. I had them in the 4-pack. I believe it came with the General Lee. It came with Boss Hogg's car. It came with Sheriff Roscoe Pete Coltrane's car. And I think it came with Daisy's Jeep. I had that set. But one of my absolute beloved items was this thing that you see right here. Ertl made this 1/16th scale. Generally, now they made a couple of different variations, but this is the one I actually had. They had one that came without this ramp, and I believe it had different wheels and tires. I could be wrong there. Because I remember the wheels and tires in this one weren't accurate. Come on, in 1982, when you're 7 years old and you're watching a General Lee jumping over cop cars and causing a fucking ruckus, do you really care if your 1/16 scale all metal Ertl car is accurate? No, you just want it to look like the Dukes of Hazzard and you want to play like the Dukes. So I'm a Yankee. The hell am I doing with a car with the fucking rebel flag on it? Que sera, sera. Either way, General Lee's probably one of the coolest star cars that ever existed. I think Knight Rider tops it just that much. But this car here was amazing. So like I said, I had the one that had the ramp, as you can see here in this picture. Let's see if we can't find other pictures. Now, if I remember correctly, that ramp unscrewed from the base. And when I played with it, I would, of course, do that. But then I would actually screw it back on the base and put it back on the shelf. I kept a lot of my boxes as a kid. This is one the box got destroyed rather quickly. So at least I had the ramp base to hang on to. See, here's an example of a 16th scale. Well, maybe this is 125. I don't know. But the same basic idea without the ramp. And this was another version that you could get. I think you could still get that one to this day, to be honest with you. But here's a picture. Of course, it's not going to be the greatest one of that very vehicle. I remember those naughty tires, or knobby tires. They're not naughty. Those knobby tires and those slotted, they call kidney bean rims. Absolutely love this car. I can still to this day hear the squeaking of the bad boy. Let's see if there's a picture of the engine compartment, because I do remember that would open up and you could see the idea of an engine. I am not seeing one because I'm not prepared. I'm never fucking prepared for anything. Here we go. There you go. It's the idea of a small block V8. I want to say, guys, tell me in the comments below, what did the actual General Lee supposed to have? Was it a 440 Magnum, Hemi, 318 just built up? I don't know. But either way, there you go. There's the engine compartment. So that is the Ertl 1/16 scale General Lee that I had as a kid, and I would absolutely love to have this. Not necessarily with the box, but if it came with the ramp, I'd be fucking golden. Now, next item. This is kind of an unusual one because I talk to people all the time that love Dukes of Hazzard, and this doesn't come up too often. This is a blow mold plastic piggy bank that they put out there. And I looked on eBay just for shits and giggles to see how much they were. I could only find one at $70, okay? And it's in rough shape, but it's also signed, so there's really no base for how much these things actually go for. And a funny story, about 5 or 6 years ago, I was at one of those antique malls. You know, the type of place where you and I can rent X amount of cabinets and put our stuff in there, and the store itself will take care of the sales and all that crap. And you say, I just want an item from cabinet D54, and they open it up and you buy the thing. Sometimes you can make a deal, whatever. I had an opportunity to buy one of these for $10 with all the stickers except for the one on the trunk. And I don't know if I would be so picky as to want all the stickers, but it would actually have to at least have the wheels. You know, the General Lee stickers, the 01 and of course the Rebel flag. Though again, I'm a Yankee, whatever. But if I were to get one of these, I probably would want the trunk sticker as well. But this one was in really great shape. I can't remember if the trunk sticker was on it or not. But it was $10. And I kind of kicked myself in the ass for not getting it. Let me see if I can find a couple of different views here. Here's the rear of it. And I know I don't have the set for you to see my mouse pointer. But if you look right above the license plate, there's like a little divot in the body. If I remember correctly, that is where the money slot was. And I don't remember it being a very good cut. So I think me and my file used a couple of little flat files to open it up a little bit. I used to put money in this thing all the time. But the other interesting thing about this bank is there was no way for you to get the money out aside from destroying it. There were a lot of banks like that. I'm sure there still are for kids to teach you how to save and all that stuff. But there was no way. Here's the idea of scale. It was about 1.5 feet long. It was a good sized car. To me, as a kid, it looked huge. But especially next to my Ertl 16 scale. But it's about 1.5 feet long, maybe closer to 2 feet. I don't know. Here's a fun story. I decided when I was a little kid to, here's a couple cars that we all had too. Earl made these little guys. And the Dixie Challenger always bugged me because I was like, that's not Dukes of Hazzard car. I wish I still had that car. Really fun car. So back to the story. I decided to have like a little makeshift yard sale. I brought out a bunch of the toys I didn't want really anymore. I didn't feel like I was playing with them enough. Even back then I was like that, right? And a couple of my friends, you know, of course adults aren't stopping by, but neighborhood friends would come by and be like, ooh, I'll buy that. And they'd give me the 50 cents. I'd put it right in the ass of the General Lee. And there was this one kid named Mike who all day, and I'm dumb for allowing this to happen, but I ended up winning in the end. All day he'd be like, oh, can I have that for 50 cents? And I'd be like, yeah. So I take the 50 cents and I put it in the bank. Now remember, there's no way to get the money out. And then like within seconds, he'd be like, you know what? Never mind. So I'd have to get my mom and be like, Mom, can you give him 50 cents? And this went on all day. And I ended up with like 13, 14 bucks, which to a kid in 81, 82 was quite a bit of money to go down to the toy store. Child World. Fuck Toys R Us. Fuck KB. Well, I liked KB, but Child World was what was that for me. Where was that? But my mom ended up losing out on $12 or $13. I ended up getting the money and keeping all my toys, so it was a win-win for the Creep. Now, whatever happened to this bank? Oh, maybe this is a better view of the rear. Maybe you can see it. Yep, you can kind of see the coin slot right there, the money slot. But there was no way to retrieve your money out of this thing. I actually used to play with this like it was an actual car, even though it was just like this blow mold thing. I really don't know what else to really say about either one of these things. We'll go back to the Ertl one real quick. I would say out of the two of them, the bank would probably be my priority if I were to actively seek any of these things out. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that quick little view and goofy story about my childhood General Lee toys. I had many more, of course, because the Dukes of Hazzard were just too cool not to role play and collect the toys for. We didn't call it collecting it back then, but that's really all there is to it. So guys, thanks as always so much for watching. Now for the public service announcement. My very first episode of this was pretty successful in my opinion. It had a lot of comments because of what it was. Okay? And because of what it looked like. Very successful, about 70 views for my channel, which is more than double what I normally get on the average video. And as a result, I ended up with the item in the video. Now, I want to just say this very strictly straightforward and as genuinely as I can. This series is not to put the feelers out there. and have people looking for me or tell me that they have it and they're going to send it over or what have you. This situation was an extraordinary situation. It's one of those things where the gentleman, really good dude. I've done a lot. We've bought things off each other. We've done trades. I've offered things to him just for the shipping, and vice versa. Really good guy. I talk about him a lot lately. Ryan over at Deep Space Toys took it upon himself to go out there and just buy it blindly without me knowing about it. The unfortunate part about it is something like this, especially a high dollar item like this, I may or may not have the money for it. So guys, this is not asking you to go out there and seek these things out for me, though I do appreciate when you do. And though I feel weird about donations, I am very grateful for everything that everyone's done for me. That all said, if you were to be like, you know what? My local toy store, retro store, has that bank. I'm going to go down there and buy it to the creep, show it to them, and contact me first, because I am a broke bitch. I don't joke when I say that. My fucking pennies are they're all accounted for in one way or the other, and every now and again I will get a few expendable dollars, or I have a few things I could trade or whatever. But I don't have much means. So as much as I appreciate you guys' kindness and wanting to support me in that way, please always contact me first, okay? Because I don't want you in a situation where, say, you got it on eBay and you're like, dude, I just ordered this. It'll be in my house and I'll send it out to you. Let's do this. And I'm like, dude, I got 50 cents this week. Sorry. And you're stuck with either having to pay for the item and own it or canceling your bid, which would fuck up your account on eBay or wherever it is you go. So always contact me first. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this look at my Ertl stuff. Enough with the PSA. I love each and every one of you. I really do. Thank you always so much for watching. I do appreciate it. And as always, leave feedback. Thumbs up, thumbs down. All feedback to the creep is positive, especially since this episode derailed slightly. But either way, guys, until next time, hope you're doing well. Take care. Creep it real. And bye-bye. I just dribbled all over myself.